All right, man. Detroit Pistons running away with the Eastern Conference right now. And the Knicks kind of falling, but the thing about it is you're gonna, go through ups and downs and downs and ups and ups and downs. You just want to be playing your best basketball when it matters the most. No, excuse me. The Eagles even fell behind the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? I mean the Eagles. I mean the Knicks even fell behind the Boston Celtics. We play the Boston Celtics on Martin Luther King Day tomorrow. Right now you just see everything that's going on here. Um, the Celtics, regardless, they're interested in Jaren Jackson Jr. Apparently, we are too. We're 5 games behind them. I think right now we split with them. We see we're gonna go through some of these games. Down the stretch, the Lions, the Pistons got a lot of really good games if you want to go down there and see them play if these players play. I mean, the Raptors, they came down to earth a little bit. Cavaliers are just eighth. They've rallied their way up. Miami is always in the play-in, whatever reason, at 8. Philadelphia feel like they, it just feel like Philadelphia is like one of those teams where I feel like they probably need to drop the dead weight of Joel Embiid, which is probably going to be impossible. And they probably need to drop the dead weight of Paul George. You know what I'm saying? And I think they lost to Cleveland back-to-back. They beat the Raptors. They just beat they split with the Raptors, beat them, and both in Toronto. Lost to them, beat them, or beat them, lost to them. They just beat Orlando. So they one of those teams, man, that just maybe, when the playoff time come, Paul George and Joel Embiid get it together, and they gonna be a scary team to play if that happens. So yeah, I mean, you look at the East. The Hawks outside looking in. They was up there, they fell. The Bucks, niggas over there crying and shit. Giannis over there crying and shit. The Hornets, the way they talking about they making a surge, I don't see a surge coming. But ultimately, yeah, the Pistons, I think the top 7 got a chance. I think Orlando, man, if they can get it together in Orlando, I don't know what's been going on there. It just seemed like they lost to the damn, Grizzlies over there in Germany. Like, what the hell? Wasn't even competitive, They beat the Grizzlies, lost to the Grizzlies, beat the Pelicans, lost to the Magic, beat the Nets by 1, lost to the Wizards, you know what I'm saying? Beat the Pacers, lost to the Bulls. It's just like, I don't know, man. I think one of the things we were discussing about the Orlando Magic, I was discussing with somebody when they made the Bane trade. My thing was, I think they need a Ja Morant. They need a real point guard over there. Because as of right now, if I'm keeping it a bean, Paolo handled the ball, Franz handled the ball. That's great to have, but on a 24/7 basis, I don't think I want both of them, handling the ball. They need a true point guard. I thought Ja was the guy that they should have got from Memphis. You know what I'm saying? They just need somebody. They need somebody to run the show. Yeah, they need somebody to run the show right now. But like I said, it's a long term. Cleveland worked their way back up. They're a problem. I think Toronto, they figuring it out. They're a problem. I think the Knicks is gonna be right back up there with us. They're a problem. Boston, they're a problem. Most people say, yeah, when Jason Tatum get back, it's a wrap. And yeah, I mean, I definitely could see that. I think Jason Tatum, I think improved this year. And we talk about the Celtics for a second. I think it proved this year that Jaylen Brown's the best player on that team. I've been telling people that, Eric Tatum get all the, the shoe deals and all that type of stuff and the accolades, but I think Jaylen Brown is proving that he's the best player on that team. KD or Kawhi was coming off giving the Thompson twins like 100 points combined. 50. I think he damn near gave both of them 50 ball. The one in Detroit, the one in fucking Houston. Houston first in Detroit. Then JB come back. Jaylen Brown he come back and drop 50 on Kawhi and lock Kawhi up. He definitely in my MVP race. K kind of sliding a little bit because the injuries or whatever going on with him. But yeah, to keep it a beam, man. Jaylen Brown, he right there with him and Shay. Right there, him and Shay. But when you start to see what the Pistons got coming up, they at home versus Boston. They got the Pelicans at the Pelicans. The Rockets come here next Friday. The Nuggets, they get them without Nikola Jokic in Denver. So they go on the West Coast trip after the Rockets game Friday. So Sunday, they at Sacramento. Uh, Tuesday, they in Denver. Thursday, they go down to January 29th, go down to Phoenix. And then they finish off their 14 West Coast trip in Golden State. And people know that's where the Tigers got in trouble at, right? At the trade deadline, the Tigers started to take their eye off the eye of the Tiger. They took the eye of the Tiger off the goal, and they just lost some momentum. They lost some momentum that they never was able to be able to get back. So the Pistons got to understand the motivation to. I feel like the motivation to finish strong at the trade, through the All-Star break to get to the All-Star break, and they got to come out. They got to come out shooting. They got to come out shooting. Yeah, they got to come out the All-Star break. They got to come out guns blazing. They got to come out guns blazing. So, but yeah. But yeah, man, they doing a hell of a job, bro. Hell of a job. But then, like I said, there's some good games coming to Little Caesars. You got Denver coming February 3rd. I don't know if Nikola Jokic is gonna be back by the end. Got the Knicks coming back February 6th. I think the deadline is set the 7th. Got the Spurs coming February 23rd. 2 days later, I want to say the 23rd and 25th is like a Tuesday and a Thursday. Monday and a Wednesday. So you got the Spurs and the Thunder coming back to back to Little Caesars. Those will be popular games. You got Philadelphia coming March 12th. The Grizzlies on 3-1-3 day. The Warriors coming March 20th. So March is a good month. Got the Warriors, the Lakers, the 76ers. I think Ja be gone. The Lakers, the Warriors. You got they had their the April 2nd. You got Anthony Edwards and them coming. So yeah, some good games coming to Little. March is a really good. You want to go to Little Caesars and see some good games. March got some good games. February and March, man. So yeah, kind of got. I think a lot of people should get excited about what's going on, but they got to come out guns blazing though, for sure. They got to come out guns blazing. Out that All-Star break, set that tone. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Hit the link tree. You can find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram. It's the first link in the description. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.